What does Jamaica's rich history and a humble cardboard have in common? More than you might think. Today, we explore the wellspring of inspiration, from the historical archive of the Institute of Jamaica to the imaginative minds transforming cardboard into works of art. Join us as we discover the power of creativity in all its forms, right here on Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Welcome.
Today, we can report 2 consecutive years of reduction in major crimes and murders, with a significant reduction of almost 20% in murders for 2024.
Between January 2022 and January 2025, we have reduced murders by 51%. And January 2025 had the lowest monthly murder count since September 2014.
Our efforts have also resulted in the reduction of active gangs by 50%. We continue to increase firearm seizures, and in more communities, we are experiencing less violence. We will realize our vision of Jamaica as the place of choice to live, work, do business, raise families, and retire in peace and prosperity.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, February 20, 2025. Jamaica is not in a recession, notwithstanding a downturn in economic output, says Director General of the Planning Institute of Jamaica, Dr. Wayne Henry. He weighed in on the matter, which has been the source of much public discourse during the PIOJ's quarterly economic performance review briefing yesterday. Dr. Henry acknowledged that the country does meet one of the conditions for a recession, having recorded a decline in seasonally adjusted real value-added GDP for both the April to June and July to September 2024 quarters. But he says the use of GDP alone to determine a recession is insufficient, and other economic indicators such as income, employment, and fiscal health must also be taken into consideration.
Despite the temporary contraction in output, the labor market continues to remain robust and may be considered a lead indicator of a return to growth in the short term. This is also supported by the most recent data on business and consumer confidence levels, which indicate positive sentiments by both consumers and businesses regarding current and future economic prospects. It is therefore the PIOJ's assessment that the Jamaican economy, though facing a downturn in economic output, is not in a recession.
The October 2024 labor market survey shows Jamaica's unemployment rate at 3.5%. The unemployed labor force stood at 51,300 persons, while the employed labor force was 1,417,000. Meanwhile, the PIOJ is reporting that economic prospects for the short to medium term are positive, with the Jamaican economy expected to return to growth for the first quarter of 2025. Growth in the range of 0.1 to 1% is projected for the January to March period.
This performance will be supported by continued growth in the economies of Jamaica's main trading partners, which augurs well for increased external demand, higher domestic demand stemming from increased employment levels, increased economic activities spurred by higher levels of business and consumer confidence as firms continue to invest to meet higher domestic and external demand, and continued recovery in the industries that were most significantly impacted by the hydrological events, and that's expected to reduce the drag on growth.
This contrasts with an estimated 1.8% contraction in real value added for the last quarter of 2024 and 0.9% for the calendar year. Despite the positive outturn expected for January to March, the last quarter of the 2024-2025 fiscal year, decline is also projected for the fiscal year in the range of 0.5 to 1.5%. But the PIOJ's Director General says this is likely to be reversed shortly.
The primary reasons for these quarterly contractions were the shocks to the economy as a result of Hurricane Beryl in July 2024 and the subsequent hydrological events, including Tropical Storm Raphael in November 2024. Given the nature of these shocks, it is likely that the impact will be temporary and will be reversed in the near term.
Government is expecting to make a $10 billion dent in the outstanding taxes owed to the state while offering relief to more than 30,000 taxpayers under the Special Arrears Settlement Program. On Wednesday, Minister of Finance and the Public Service Favour Williams revealed that the government is owed approximately $139.3 billion in outstanding taxes, along with associated penalties, interest and surcharges. 42.5% of the arrears are more than 7 years old, and Jamaica's tax arrears currently stand at 23%, more than double the global standard of 10%. The Special Arrears Settlement Program, which is being implemented by the TAJ, is designed to both address this and provide relief to taxpayers.
We believe that the Special Arrears Settlement Program will alleviate the financial burden on taxpayers by providing an opportunity to clear their debts without the additional costs typically associated with late filing and payments. By waiving these extra charges, the program promotes timely compliance and supports taxpayers in achieving financial stability that will foster continued voluntary compliance.
The program, which covers several tax types, allows taxpayers in arrears to pay their outstanding principal balance by March 31. Those who meet the deadline will have their interest, penalties, and surcharges waived by the government. Earlier this week, Tax Administration Jamaica TAJ reported that it had already collected over $3 billion in principal arrears since the program's launch approximately 3 weeks earlier. The program is targeting $10 billion in debt stock. The government is set to implement 3 key interventions to stabilize the egg industry this year. This is due to the ongoing pressure the industry faces following the devastation caused by Hurricane Beryl, which struck in July of last year. The storm resulted in the loss of 43,000 laying hens, significantly impacting the country's domestic egg production. Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green outlined the government's plans to address the shortage during yesterday's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House.
What we're planning to do and what we've started to do is to target our large-scale users of eggs and to allow them to be able to import liquid eggs, especially for our baking and hospitality industry, so that will allow more whole eggs for local consumers. We are not allowing the importation of whole eggs. It would have to be liquid, it will have to be powdered, and it will only be for hospitality sectors or our baking sectors.
The Agriculture Ministry will also collaborate with major poultry producers, such as Jamaica Broilers and Caribbean Broilers, to source hatching eggs from international markets, including Belgium and the Netherlands. Additionally, a partnership will be formed with the Jamaica Egg Farmers Association and the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association to better anticipate demand, particularly from bakeries and the tourism sector. Despite the challenges, Minister Green expressed optimism that the industry would return to pre-Hurricane Beryl production levels by July 2025, assuming no further major disruptions occur. And finally, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is now in Barbados for the 48th regular meeting of CARICOM. The grouping is scheduled to discuss geopolitical issues impacting the region and securing member states' prosperity. Ahead of the Prime Minister's participation in the discussions, he held bilateral talks with his counterpart from Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley. Prime Minister Holness also met with the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres. Dr. Holness will also join in on discussions with the President of the European Commission, Secretary-General of the Commonwealth, the Caribbean Development Bank, and the Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
History in motion, science in action, culture on display. The Institute of Jamaica is a hub of activity, a place where the past informs the present and inspires the future. We take you on a tour of its vibrant divisions, showcasing the breadth and depth of its work.
Nestled in the heart of Kingston, the Institute of Jamaica, IOJ, stands as testament to the island's rich cultural heritage. An entity of the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, the IOJ was established in 1879. For nearly a century and a half, it has stood as a reminder of our past and inspiration for the future we might have. Considered to be the mother of all other museums, the IOJ gave birth to several divisions, each focusing on the uniqueness of our culture and heritage. Let's take a walk through these hallowed halls and discover the history and beauty within. Through the artifacts exhibited in its halls, the National Museum of Jamaica boasts a rich display of the island's history. Entering the museum feels like stepping into a time machine, where you encounter both ancient artifacts and modern artworks. From Taino carvings to maroon exhibits, each display the diversity of Jamaica's cultural heritage.
It's the most important museum in Jamaica. It's the National Museum, so everything here is owned by you and you. So it's all the viewers. So everything here belongs to the Jamaican people, unlike a private museum where the work is privately owned.
It sees an average of 200 visitors daily, the majority of whom are school children. Because of its location, parking can be a struggle, but once bookings are made on time, appropriate arrangements are made to provide safe parking. The national collections are comprised of over 21,000 artifacts that date back to the pre-Columbian era. One of Jamaica's national treasures is the Mary Seacole bust.
A lot of what we inherit is from people who donate works of art or historical artifacts or art in the case of the National Gallery. We do occasionally buy extremely important pieces, such as a figure, the statue of Mary Seacole behind you, which was an incredibly important piece of work, which was very important for Jamaican history as well as us, because this is where she lived. We also have Taino artifacts, so pieces from before Columbus came over here. You know, it's we have a small but important collection of Taino artifacts, which we're hoping to increase.
Another agent of the IOJ is the Natural History Museum of Jamaica, which is mandated to advance scientific research and education by collecting, storing, and maintaining specimens of Jamaica's plants and animals. It's a fantastic place to explore and learn about Jamaica's natural wonders. Visitors can marvel at rare and endemic species, from colorful birds and butterflies to exotic orchids. One of its highlights is the Jamaican yellow snake, also called the Jamaican boa or nank, which is believed to be the largest non-poisonous indigenous terrestrial predator on the island. Also on display is a variety of woods that are indigenous to Jamaica. They appear to be books on a shelf, but with a closer look, you will realize that they are replicas of various textures, which show that Jamaica is indeed a diverse country of natural wood and water. Another remarkable attribute is the swallowtail butterfly, also known as the Papilio homerus. It's a beautiful species known for its vibrant yellow coloration and distinctive wing shape. It's also the largest butterfly in the Western Hemisphere and is indigenous to Jamaica. The Jamaica Music Museum is the department of the Institute of Jamaica where rhythm comes alive. At this gallery, you will find a collection of instruments that have shaped the sounds of the island. Displayed in these halls is the story of reggae and other indigenous Jamaican musical art forms and the people and moments that have shaped them. But the museum is not limited to the relics of the past. One of its flagship programs is Ground Nation, a series that occurs every February during Reggae Month. This event aims to continue the tradition of community outreach, utilizing culture and reasoning to play a part in transforming Jamaican society. Art lovers, step into the National Gallery, home to a beautiful collection of centuries of creations reflecting Jamaica's beauty, pride, and talent. Officially established on November 14, 1974, it is the largest and oldest public art gallery in the English-speaking Caribbean. It features a wide range of art forms, including paintings, sculptures, drawings, prints, and photographs. Each piece represents a range of styles, periods, and movements from around the world. From Renaissance masterpieces to contemporary pieces, there's something to tantalize everyone's taste buds. As we make our way through the IOJ, the tour cannot be complete without a visit to the African Caribbean Institute of Jamaica and Jamaica Memory Bank. With a dynamic history dating as far back as the 1970s, the focus is on celebrating the connections between Jamaica, Africa, and the wider Caribbean diaspora. It is a storehouse of Jamaica's memories, as seen through exhibitions, lectures, and cultural events. Reflecting a symbol of freedom and resilience is Liberty Hall. Located at 76 Upper King Street, it serves as a tribute to the legacy of Marcus Garvey, one of Jamaica's national heroes whose Pan-African ideals resonate throughout time. With its treasure trove of artifacts, documents, and multimedia displays, it offers an immersive experience into Jamaica's profound impact on the global stage. It was the meeting place of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA, which Garvey founded. Finally, there's the Programs Coordination Division of the IOJ, comprised of the Junior Center and the Simon Bolivar Cultural Center. These offer a range of hands-on activities, workshops, and educational content for adults and children. The Simon Bolivar Cultural Center was established to maintain and strengthen the relationship between the Caribbean and Latin America and re-establish Parade as the cultural district of downtown Kingston. Simon Bolivar was a Venezuelan known as the Liberator for helping to liberate Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Ecuador, Peru, and Bolivia from Spain. He was exiled to Jamaica in 1815, where he wrote the famous Jamaican letter, a copy of which is on display. Both centers offer several education programs and activities, including Spanish and creative arts for adults and children. As we conclude our journey through the Institute of Jamaica and its departments, we're reminded of its commitment to preserve and promote Jamaican culture and heritage for generations to come. Whether you're a local resident or visitor from afar, the IOJ invites you to immerse yourself in the beauty and diversity of Jamaica's rich cultural landscape. All of IOJ's museums are open to the public, including for schools and other tour groups from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Jamaican children pay $100, adults $600. Tertiary students with IDs pay $300 and those without $600. International students are charged $5, while international adults pay $10.
We're not here to make money so much. We're here to educate and help people, come to terms with their own histories, then community history, individual history, family history, national history, international history. So that's what we're here to try and create citizen historians.
Young Jamaicans up to 35, your government will reserve up to 10% of NHT housing solutions over the next 5 years, just for you with 100% financing up to 15 million Jamaican dollars. This is how we are empowering and breaking the cycle of poverty meaningfully. Your government is caring for you.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Think outside the box? Think inside the box. We are diving headfirst into the world of cardboard artistry, where imagination knows no bounds.
They are urged to be recycled, but a lot of times simply discarded. You may pick one up to help you with the groceries, stock unused or unwanted items, but never to make a living. That is where you and Gawain James differ.
I'm Gawain James, and I'm the cardboard master. None like me. drawing, painting and all these things. But I didn't know I could make stuff from cardboard.
It was Bob Marley who said, "You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice." This was the attitude Gawain developed when he started his career to become what he calls the cardboard master. The husband and father of one worked in the hotel industry as a manager for almost 2 decades when health began to wane. Gawain started to fall ill on the job sometime in 2019. He recounts that an ambulance would come get him sometimes 3 times in a week while at work. The doctors didn't know what exactly the problem was, but after a year, they learned it was lupus. Then the COVID-19 pandemic struck the world, and Gawain too. Understanding that his health took precedence, he left his job. But the breadwinner had concerns about filling the gap. Opportunity came by way of him just doing what any loving father does.
My son got a homework from school and I decided I was going to make the project. However, after creating the project, I realized that this was really good. This was looking good and posted on my WhatsApp status. That a person started to comment on it and I said, you know what, maybe I can try this. And then there was others influencing me. Give this a try, man, maybe this is you.
And it was. He got his first official client when a pageant mom commissioned his services for her daughter's pageant costume. And ever since then it has been
amazing. Amazing. Because of that one, I got another one for a different pageant and it's just been going on from that. Sometimes I post, persons see, like, and then I'll get other clients through that. Or, you know, some persons just word of mouth. You know, persons spreading it. Hey, this guy, you know, he's very good at this, and it goes on from there.
It has been 2 years since his new profession began, and the bulk of his job orders are from parents wanting him to do school projects for their children. However, his clients do not stop with parents. Teachers too are among his patrons. And he may be going back into the hotel industry, only not in the same capacity.
They want me, for example, to show clients how to make stuff from these used materials, and they are asking me to create stage props or any little thing that can come from the cardboard.
And if you're wondering how lucrative this recycling business is, just know that this one-time manager is making a living.
When I decided to try it, I wasn't thinking about money. I was just doing a thing. And then afterwards, then you see what comes up, what happens next. They'll say, wait, hotel manager left come and I make things out of cardboard, you know. And that talk actually was ringing around for a few. But then afterwards, when persons see what it is, you know, definitely I see persons appreciating it, and it's been great so far.
The two-man business continues to grow with the help of his wife, Rochelle.
She has her own profession, but definitely I think she decided to give me a hand, and she saw how stressful it was on me, and I really needed some help. And she decided to pitch in to help with the painting.
At first, I was just keeping company. So when he was up late at night, I would stay up with him just to keep his company until eventually I started doing the paintings for him so that the work could be done faster.
I showed her little moves here and there, and then she just perfect.
He hopes to become an inspiration for those who may not want to go into conventional professions.
When you ask somebody what you want to become when you grow up, they'll say a lawyer, a doctor, a police, and you hear all these high names. You know, but it also shows kids that if just in case you don't become a lawyer or a doctor, you can become something great with your hands, you know, with the talent that you're given.
Once you believe in yourself and you think that you have this talent, don't let anyone stop you from going for what you want to go for. Just believe in yourself and just go for it.
Words not just for her husband and business partner, but for all creatives not realizing that they can turn their talents into profits. Gawain credits not just his family for his fortunes, but he wants the world to know it is God that continues to sustain him.
In the heart of the Caribbean lies a beacon of financial opportunity. Welcome to Jamaica, where beauty and vibrance meet business and innovation. At the forefront of making Jamaica a robust financial hub, the Jamaica International Financial Services Authority leads the charge with trust and integrity.
Here at JIFSA, our mandate is centered around stimulating economic growth and investment in the Jamaican economy through legislation.
Through legislation, JIFSA has had acts modeled on laws of leading financial services jurisdictions worldwide. The legislation includes the Trusts Act, which allows for flexibility in succession planning and family offices, the Trust and Corporate Services Providers Act, which regulates the provision of fiduciary services, as well as the Partnership Limited Act.
At JIFSA, our aim is to foster economic diversification and boost Jamaica's economic landscape.
JIFSA takes pride in cultivating a business environment that supports growth and sustainability through innovation. JIFSA is a partner that will guarantee new opportunities. Join us in Jamaica, where the Jamaica International Financial Services Authority helps you embark on a journey of endless possibilities. JIFSA, new legislation, new opportunities. And this is where our journey ends, but only for today. Do join us again tomorrow when we'll bring you another informative program. In the meantime, stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via X at JIS News. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.